Hello, everyone, and welcome back. I'm Nettie Owens with Sapari Solutions. This is a continuation of the series, What Businesses Need to Know Right Now. And I've brought oh my gosh, I'm a wonderful person who has been in productivity, who's written several books on it, Casey Moore, to talk to us today. And I just want to tell you a little bit about her. Casey is the productivity coach. She helps busy professionals spend their time on what matters and regain control of their time, tasks, and teams, and experience peace of mind. She does this through coaching, training, and her book, The Productivity Chain, The Holistic Way to Spend Your Time on What Matters. And having read that book and worked through it as a basis for a productivity class, I can say that it's outstanding. Right. Definitely check it out. Casey works one-to-one with individuals. She also partners with small to medium businesses to be their coach, group trainer, systems consultant, and internal brand ambassador. Welcome.
Hi, good to be here, Nettie. Thanks for having me.
I'm so glad to get to have this conversation with you. But I just, these are short. I want to just dive right in here. Why is it important to take a holistic approach to becoming more efficient and effective? I mean, certainly you can learn how to to-do list well. You can learn how to, make yourself more efficient. But you just use this word holistic, which we often hear in other realms. Like, how does that apply to productivity?
Well, another word for holistic is comprehensive. And you're right. You can read books on different aspects of it, but when you step back and see how productivity really works, you'll find that there are really 12 sets of skills, knowledge, and ability, 12 factors that influence how productive someone can be. It's not a personality trait kind of thing. It's skills, knowledge, and ability. And what that means is it could be anything from boundary setting to communication to health. All of this can influence how productive someone can be at any given moment. And if you don't look at the big picture, you can get stuck trying to fix things that aren't really the problem. So I might have a client come to me and say, I'm disorganized. I need to get my office in shape. But when we drill down, we find that she never closes her office door. She is doing the work of some of her team members, or she is taking on too many commitments. And it turns out what's going on is boundary setting is the problem. Mm-hmm. And if we can work on that, sort of magically, the office starts to take care of itself. Mm-hmm. So I think of productivity as producing the life that you want. And if you're going to do that, do it the most efficient, fastest way you can. And that means finding out what's really going on. And the holistic approach lets you do that.
I want to point out something that you said, and it struck me as, something I've seen in other realms, mainly organizing, but really identify your identity being tied to how productive or not productive you are. This concept that, it was something that just sort of teased out when you were first speaking about holistic, comprehensive productivity. It's not identity or failure. Yeah. It's really, a set of skills where you can sense, or look for, or clarify which ones you could use more support on, which ones you maybe don't do as well, which ones need structure to them.
Absolutely.
So is there something that you've seen effective to boost productivity across the board? We're talking, actually, before I say that, what are the 12? You said there were 12 factors. Can you name them?
It's a test. Yeah. So just in sort of alphabetical order, they're all equally important and all interrelated. There's boundary setting, communication, relationships, delegation, decision-making, drive, which is attitude, mindset, health, organization of objects and data, planning, reinvention, managing change, resources, internal and external, and task and project management.
That's an amazing list. And, going through that, I can think about times I'm like, yeah, that was what was going on. I didn't feel productive, but my health wasn't as good, or I had lost motivation, or perhaps wasn't using my boundaries, as you mentioned before. So it really drills it down into something that's actionable versus this amorphous like productivity. It's kind of hard to put a nail on that one, hammer on that one, right?
Exactly. Well said. Yes, I agree.
So jumping back over, what have you found to be effective across the board, any industry? What works to kind of boost that level for people?
I used to say nothing, that there's no one thing you can do, but now I know that's not true. And this is a practice everybody can do starting today. And it will help you because it strengthens every single link in the chain. And that is to practice mindfulness. I think of mindfulness as paying attention deliberately in the present moment without opinion. So it's awareness of what you're thinking, feeling, physical sensations, but instead of having a judgment about them or like, that's great or that's terrible, to just be aware, because that gives you the detachment to be able to choose how to act. And it strengthens focus. It improves your relationships with others. It helps your decision making. So it's free.
It's which we could all use right now, right? I like to recommend to my clients to be a scientist.
Yes.
The mindfulness word, if you're just not sure how to connect to that, then for me personally, I've found just pretending to be a scientist helps. Scientists kind of look at all the data, and they are curious, and they ask questions, and they don't necessarily jump to conclusions, even if they have a hypothesis. They haven't decided what the outcome is. I think that really integrates well. If, like I said, if you're having a trouble, like what is mindfulness? How do I do that? So you're a productivity coach specifically, and what do you find what's that difference between coaching and productivity coaching, and then what makes it so powerful and effective?
So first, I believe 100% in self-help and self-growth. But I wrote a book in part so people could just read the book and just go on their own and practice experiments. I think of scientists too, or biologists, or a narrator in your head. So
I love that.
Yeah, just narrating. But I think there's something, I know from personal experience, that there's something really powerful about partnering with someone else. A coach is a thinking partner. So to reflect on what's working, what's not working. With my clients, I'm giving them tools, tricks, ideas. That's sort of the consulting tip. But with coaching, it's helping them assimilate what's going to work best, drawing on their inner wisdom, and really building effective habits. That's so much of my role with clients, to really learn from doing and not doing, finding out what works and moving towards really becoming all that they want to be, and maybe thinking bigger about who they want to be, letting go of these ideas and limits that they have. And the clients that I work with end up starting to think about themselves differently too. And some of them, I'm not proud of this, but they say they can sort of hear my voice in their head. But the part that I like about that is that it's the voice that's telling them to pause, to maybe be more compassionate and objective towards themselves. Because what they end up getting from productivity coaching is not just how to do things today, it's how to learn how to do things going forward. Because I'll give you tools now, but 5 years from now, there's going to be some new technology that we've never heard of. But know how to know when to change and how to adapt things to yourself. That's what productivity coaching does.
Awesome. I love that reflective nature of it, that can then create skills for you going forward.
Yeah.
So I put below, if people would like to reach out to you, KC Moore Inc.com/Casey's-eTips and connect with Casey from here.
Thank you, Nettie. Bye, everyone.